Hey there, this is Sandy Root here. Are you struggling with student loan debt or credit card debt? I've been there and I know how devastating it can be and how bad it can feel. I did have an undergrad degree where I was taking out student loans, and I'm still paying off a lot of those many years later. Luckily, I was able to have my father cover part of those. So that took like a huge weight off of me, and I felt like I could breathe a little bit better. But then I chose to go back to school again for acupuncture, and that's a master's degree program that's also almost about 4 years long. And I wasn't working at all during that time, or very part time in my last year. But so, as you can imagine, I was living off of loans and using that to also pay for my education. And I came out of there sort of like, okay, it just hit me one day like this, like, oh my goodness, look at the amount of this debt. And it was just literally my body felt like short of breath and this trapped feeling because when you have this, it just feels like you're in jail, literally. Like you feel like it's just overtaking you. And I'm sure you understand if you do have a lot of debt. And, at the same time, I had a credit card debt because I used credit cards while I was in school and I didn't have enough money from the loans left or whatever it was. And it was almost, like partly like I'll just deal with this later. I'll look at this all later. It'll be fine. I can pay it back later. I'm not even going to bother looking at it. And I know a lot of my friends in school were like that, like, we'll just deal with it later. We're in school. Let's focus on that. We'll be fine and we'll deal with looking at all this stuff later. And thinking that, also thinking during that time that I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to school. I'm getting an education. So this is right. And everyone does this and everyone gets into debt, who can't afford it. And this is normal. And now looking at it, it's not normal, it's not, there's other ways, a lot of us are brought up to be taught that the right thing to do is to go to college for 4 years. And if you can't pay for it, to take out student loans and pay them back. But there's also many of us struggling immensely from student loans and credit card debt. And, there was a point where the credit card companies were calling me all day. And I was like, I was afraid to even have my phone on anymore because I just couldn't deal. Like every time the phone would ring and I see this 800 number, I know it's the credit card company. There's just this nervousness in your stomach. You don't know how to deal with it. You don't know what to say to them. You say something like, well, I can't pay it right now. And they're still like, well, what can you do? Can you do this? Can you do? No, I said I can't pay right now, and it's a real struggle, and it can really take a toll on you physically too, because it just causes this turmoil inside. And, I'm sure a lot of us feel that way, that, we thought we were doing the right thing. We were doing what we were told by society or our parents that, like, the right thing is to go to college and get a degree. And if you have to take out loans, then do that, lots of people do this. It's okay. But, what if the right thing is something different for you? What if there's a different option out there for you? And luckily, I found an online business after, starting my own acupuncture practice. I use this to help market my acupuncture practice, but I've also fallen so much in love with this online business because it's actually helping me to get out of debt in ways that I couldn't have done with my own practice, in ways that I couldn't have done with a traditional job. And, I know a lot of people are in that position where they're working full time, they're making a certain income, but there's like almost this despair when you look down 30 years and you're still paying it off because you don't have the extra income to actually chip away at it in a bigger chunks and just get it out of your life. It's something that we look at sometimes and we're like, I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life. But I'm actually able to now see that I'm in a position where this can be something that I get rid of much quicker and get that out and not have to worry about that being there anymore, because it's just like this big dark cloud, So this was a big part of me in joining the online business. I saw the opportunity for creating much more income than I could in my practice or in a standard job in a quicker amount of time and without, having to go through the struggles of a 9 to 5 job, which aren't for me either. So check out why I joined my online business. Check out what it is below. Click the link and let me help you get on track to starting to pay off your student loan debts, your credit card debts, and start changing your mindset around money and focusing on things that will help you move forward and get out of that feeling of being trapped, or almost that shortness of breath feeling of like the phone's ringing and the debt company calling me again. So click that link below. Let's be in touch, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Ciao.